Back to Blackacre Ranch, everyone. Today we are talking about storm damage and things that are going on in the ranch. Since a couple days ago, you might have noticed on Facebook, I posted a picture of some storms. I'll put the pictures here again for you if you didn't happen to see it. But anyway, we had some huge thunderstorms come through. It kind of like blew down a bunch of trees, other things, and we're gonna go through the ranch and kind of see some of the stuff that it's done and some of the after effects of what's going on now. So anyway, stick with us as we cover all that. All right, guys, one of my fears has been with all that heat this summer, have we been losing the grass? Did we not get the Bermuda to take? And I think we're starting to see some signs that I think maybe it did take. So you can kind of see here, row of grass, row of grass, row of grass, and you kind of see that going along here. So I think in general, our grass is growing. It did not completely die, but now that we've been having some rain, you see it's starting to grow, it's starting to get bigger. Out here, you know, it's kind of harder to kind of tell. A lot of things are dead out here. I don't see it so much out here. That's my problem. I don't see a widespread grass growth. So, you know, I'm still pessimistic in a lot of ways, maybe not always optimistic. We came over here and our job, hey dog, you want to get the food? Yeah. We got to feed the pigs some. And the pigs, I think, generally did fine. They don't mind the weather, the mess, all that other junk that comes along with storms. Right, and the storm came by Sunday evening, which meant Monday. My wife was out, checked everybody seemed fine. Today is Tuesday, and checking Tuesday, we now noticed we have a problem with our pigs. And I'm not sure if you can tell what the exact problem is. We seem to have 3 adults, which means Hagrid decided to get a little antsy, but I would almost say the girls maybe got a little antsy by the way that this fence is torn up. Oh, that's not cool, guys. That's not cool. Everything was shoved this way. Hagrid, I'm not gonna blame you on this one, okay, dude? I'm not gonna blame you at all. I think I'm gonna blame the females. And see our little piglets? Look how big they're getting. Aww. I don't think Hagrid likes us right now, guys. Look at our pigs, man. The little babies. They're getting so big. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Alright, mainly what I do, I want to check their food. Hey, dog, you want to fill it up over here? We're going to fill up their food over here. The only reason why I think this kind of, yeah, I'm a little bummed about it, is I think they've been like this for a day, right? They weren't like this yesterday, were they, dog? No. Okay, so they've been like this for a day. I just don't want Hagrid breeding with the females and then having both of them all of a sudden bred and then having them both having piglets at the same time again, right? I just don't want that to happen. So we wanted to kind of control that a little bit better than we had previously, make sure that things were timed differently. Well, like this, it's not going to be the case. So we're gonna have to come in here and get some stuff done on this. We do have some things in the works here. We're gonna be expanding some pens that way. We need to separate the piglets from the mom just to make sure the weaning happened. They're like 9 or 10 weeks, it seems like right now. But once we do that, then we can kind of get the females back to here, Hagrid back over there, or maybe even separate these guys with a little bit better of a fence. I'm not sure, but there is some changes that are gonna be happening. We just got to get to it. Because as you know, we've been working on the bison, getting them separated so the calves can be separated out. We're still working on that. There've been a couple times, just to let you know. We've gotten a few in there. Things are in progress and works, so not much to show there. We'll put that all in a video later on. So anyway, let's go see what other damage kind of happened at the ranch. There's 2 other things that I want to show you. All right, guys, here's number 2. All right, we got ourselves the garage. The garage is going to look a little bit different, partly because we no longer have a roof up above us. Every single wood strip has been taken off. We had half of a garage all the way up to about here. So all the roof panels up to here. So total of 5 trusses were covered. These had been uncovered, but obviously over the weather, things have really taken a turn for the worse. The trusses are now starting to sag and collapse here in the middle. And this has been a concern that we've been having, is what are these conditions of this wood? Like, you know, how good is it? I mean, it's still there, yes, but you know, you can kind of have some hollowed, rotted out wood, but yet it still seemed to look good, right? When we first bought the place, the roof had been ripped off some and things weren't looking all that great, and it's just gotten worse and worse. Well, this storm, this last one came by and just ripped the entire rest of it off. Now, you might say, well, geez, you know, Jeff, that's pretty bad, you know, I can't believe it did that. And it's like, well, I don't mind so much because I was gonna have to take it down anyway, but I didn't want to have to do it like this. And if you look at all of this right now, you can see that this guy's now pointed off. This guy's kind of tilted, 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 tilted. And in fact, if you look on these walls, when we had put all of these interior guys up, we leaned them against that wall, it just bowed everything in. So anyway, we were debating whether to take this down, just the entire structure, just wipe it right out. And I think we're actually going to do that. At first I was thinking like, well, maybe we just keep the walls, replace all the trusses. But I think I want to take it all the way down because I want a taller height right up here for the garage. And this was going to limit us because the trusses come down like this. They come down a foot, I think, something like that. 15 inches, something like that. And so with a cross piece, we just could only get so high the height. All right, so that's the garage. What about the house? How's the house doing? Well, the house isn't doing that much better, guys. The house is stable, so I'm gonna give you an update on the house as well. I shouldn't say the house is stable. The house is stagnant, okay? This is the remnants of the house that's been left over, okay? We took everything else down, did everything like that, all right? And we left the walls that were here in the middle up for location purposes and understanding what is where, because I want to kind of match the same layout. So I left all these walls up, but we've since had problems with that and things haven't gone super well. So the wind came by and blew it all down, ripped it right out of the concrete. I don't think this stuff was even notched down very well, to be honest with you, in any way. And so being the interior walls, I can imagine they probably weren't, even though these are on the exterior. So with the metal structure, they probably just didn't bolt them down. So all of these guys have tipped over. We're gonna have to clean them up. The roofs, all of our outlets that were sitting around, kind of hanging out. We even have our electrical panel. Sorry, Dad. The electrical panel is gonna have to be redone. So maybe this is just a way of saying, you know what, start fresh with everything. The one thing I am glad about is that it's still sitting there. So the thing I don't like is water lines. All of that stuff that was right here. Let's see if I can get closer. All these water lines bent over, and I'm not really a fan of that. Gosh dang it. So just gonna make the job a little bit harder. So let me get out of here before I trip and fall. All right, so anyway, this was the second thing. Roof completely ripped off. House structure all fell down. I'm glad that at least that drain there is sitting there. And yeah, all of that stuff was found. Hey, there's a piece in with a buffalo right now. So there's a piece in with the buffalo. Hey, there's another piece over there. We swear we picked all those things up, so I guess evidently we forgot a couple. This was the second thing, like I said, that happened with the storm. We're gonna have to clean this all up and take down that garage fully anyway. Just start over. So let's get to the number 3 thing. Okay, number 3, guys. We're down here from the bulls and all the other buffalo. You see them coming up over the ridge here. So luckily this was not in their pen, but we had some trees fall. We had this dead one here that fell. I think that's its stump still sticking up. I'm not actually gonna get in there. But the other one was this big pine tree. You can kind of see it over here. It was alive, it was good, and it just ripped it right out of the ground. So that guy is gonna be a beast to chop up. And honestly, it's probably about the same size as this tree, even though this is an oak. But if I had to guess standing from here, I would say that's probably maybe 18 inches in diameter, maybe 15. So that's awful big. That's an awful big tree. And but count your lucky stars and your blessings, it didn't hit the fence and it missed it. I hate hearing these buffaloes snort behind me, especially when the buffaloes come up. I'll just say, you know, we didn't have any other big trees fall down that we can see. We did go around the perimeter, check some things out, but yeah, one big live one and a dead one. So hopefully there's others that would have fallen, but they didn't. So we're gonna be chainsawing a bit. I'm gonna ask your opinion, guys. I've got myself a Farm Boss with an 18-inch bar with about an 18-inch diameter tree that fell, and I've got myself a smaller one, a 16-inch bar, a 171. So I have an MS 271 steel and an MS 171. I don't know that I need a bigger one. Could it be nice to have a big one? Sure, but you know, especially now that they're down, I don't know. Comment below if you think I need to buy a bigger chainsaw. Need to buy a bigger chainsaw, not want to buy a bigger chainsaw. But otherwise, we're gonna be tackling that later on. Hey guys, how are you guys doing? You guys hanging in there? Yeah, flies are back, aren't they, Patricia? Yep, flies are back. We're gonna get the fly spray out and come by. Let you guys get some liquid on it and see if you'll let us spray you. All right, driving on our way out, guys. I was mistaken. There is another tree that broke. This one snapped halfway up. It was one that was gonna come down here in the winter, and it fell. So, you know, we've got ourselves a lot of trees, and this is gonna take some time to pick up and clean up, and I want to get that done at least as soon as we can, because I wanna start mowing everything. But that kind of gets us, why is it gonna take so much time, is because we got a house to build. And so where are we at with this house build? And I would say, well, we're at the still waiting stage. So right now it's tentatively scheduled for November. I'm gonna start getting things done during Thanksgiving week. That's usually a week that things calm down at the office. And it isn't 110. And I can usually just kind of take the whole week off. So I think if I just take the week off, work the days, and just give myself 5-7 full days, whatever it is, how much work could I get done at that point? I think I can hopefully get everything framed and put together. So that's my goal, and that's what I'm thinking, is I'm just gonna hold off till November and wait. And that gives us some time to work with the buffalo and trying to train the calves, trying to get everybody sorted, things of that nature. So it just gives us a little bit of time. It's a little slower than I wanted, but I think it's good enough. It's good enough. I can wait till November. So I guess that's the status, guys. That's how the ranch did. I don't know if you guys have had any crazy weather recently. I don't even know how much rain we got. I think our rain thing said 75, so it's 0.75, 3/4 an inch. A guy down the road was, I think, 1.5 inches or something like that. I think we have a defective rain gauge, but you know, that's what I like to think. I think we got more rain than that, but either way, we got a lot of wind. These guys were blown around. There's just things, you know, that's kind of everywhere. Trash kind of goes stuff, and you got to clean up, right? So that's naturally what we're doing right now, just getting all the cleanup done and prepping. But I hope you guys enjoyed, you know, hearing at least the status of the house, why we haven't started. It was just so freaking hot this summer. I was like, I'm not doing this. And I think that week in November during Thanksgiving will be an optimal time to kind of get this all done and frame it out. So that's really what I'm shooting for. In the meantime, we can worry about some of these odds and ends down here. Getting everything prepped, hopefully gonna get this burn ban lifted, get all that cleaned up and move from there. So anyway, this is the status. Kind of just a little update. You saw some buffalo in the distance. They're just doing fine, guys. They're the same as always. They just are eating and sitting there pooing. We'll talk to you guys later. Like and subscribe and keep up with us, and we'll talk to you then. Bye.